Hi, SGEN Corner. I am Winzendy, the CEO and founder of Yuna Co. Yuna Co is a personal fashion matchmaking platform, and what our mission is basically to be able to find the right fashion item and content that we can basically fit into different women based on their preferences and body type. I would say it's the otherwise. Fashion is not really something that I was very comfortable with in the beginning. There is a need for myself to look actually very tidy and everything else, but I don't like to do my own shopping. And I saw this bunch of women went into Starbucks at the time I was in Starbucks, and they all dressed very well. And I thought to myself, how much time do they waste to find all these items? So I thought to myself, man, I don't want to waste my time like that. I wish there is a personal shopper that can help me buy all these items. So I thought to myself, how can I build something like a personal shopper or personal stylist that can be scalable, that can be used as a service for people like myself, and it will help me to be hassle-free in finding the right items for myself. So basically, when I came up with the idea in the beginning, I thought about how can I make it scalable in a bigger range, right? I mean, if one personal shopper can only handle like what, 10, 20 people per month. So how can I make it as scalable as possible? So that's when the idea of building it with, at the time I was calling it an adaptive learning. Nowadays people call it artificial intelligence or AI. So I thought to myself, how can I, using a certain system or algorithm, be able to kind of replicate the same kind of thinking and process that fashion stylists would have, and kind of make it into a simpler process for my fashion stylists and for customers as a recommendation engine for them for fashion. So that's the way I see it. So the thing about fashion and any other industry, there's always a pattern, there's always a set of rules. So how can we, from the technology side of things, can be able to basically simplify the rules and use system to optimize the whole process and make it scalable. So yeah. Fortunately, I have a very good team. Myself, I'm not really all that up to date with fashion, so I actually have a head of fashion in my company who's basically keeping up with all the trends. Actually, she gives me fashion advices as well every once in a while. So yeah, definitely it's not like a single person effort. I also have a very good team that always keep up to date with all the latest things that are happening in technology. So I think the challenges will always be there for every startup or entrepreneurs, right? Definitely for myself, we are building something that's very new into the market, and of course there is no real case studies available or best practice available in the market. So we have to try a lot of different business processes. There's a lot of trial and errors. And most of all, we kind of need to find a way to convince our target market, our investors, our brand partners. I think there are ups and downs, just like a roller coasters. You know, there are times when your theory or your hypothesis works out, and you know there's a certain rush. It's like you're up there in the sky. But more often than not, we are actually at the bottom. You know, where you feel very discouraged. Things are not going as you expected it to be. What's most important for startup founders and entrepreneurs, you know, do not give up easily. You know, there will be times when you feel like very, very tired. Just don't be discouraged, right? Find a mentor, find somebody that you can actually ask questions to. Do not feel or think that you already know everything, because you don't. Even I don't know anything, and I'm still learning. So I think most important is, you know, keep yourself humble. Do not get discouraged, and just keep moving forward. That's most important. Okay, would I rather be a fashionista or a tech-savvy guy? So the answer to that is definitely a tech-savvy guy. I think I've mentioned it before. I'm not really into fashion in the beginning, so I actually have people who are helping me out on the fashion side. And I'm a very nerdy guy. I like to read science books. So every time I get depressed, I would actually go into like a dark little corner and read through science books. So yeah, tech-savvy guy definitely. Whether I want to be able to stop time or I want to fly, definitely stop time. So I have this weird little obsession with space-time and relativity theory. So I think any kind of superpower that goes around that, it's really cool. So imagine if I can stop time, that means that I have more than 24 hours a day, which I can use for more sleeping or more work. I mean, that would be really good, right? It means that I will be able to achieve more in a lesser amount of time than other people. So yeah, stop time. Whether I want to be Tony Stark or Sherlock Holmes in solving problems. Technically, I like Sherlock Holmes because of his intelligence, you know, and being able to kind of see things in a very different way. But to be honest, I'd rather be Tony Stark, you know, because he has a really cool suit and he is super rich. And I think it's more relevant to my situation where, you know, we live in a very modern world and he used technology and science to solve different kind of problems. So yeah, definitely Tony Stark, especially because of the suit, yeah. Thank you, SGEN Corner, for having me. For everyone who's watching this, keep track of SGEN Corner and view and watch the next episode. I'm sure that whatever that SGEN Corner is doing will be able to motivate you and be able to give you more insights in how to be a better entrepreneur and startup founder. So